No.
Yeah.
We got you.
So welcome to the segment behind the show, after the show.
Cheers.
Behind the shadow.
Behind the shadows. And actually, fun fact, we broke their virginity today. Ooh, we gonna take your virginity. We gonna take your virginity for me, baby. Hey.
You took my.
Bro, we need to have you all on the show yet. Like, yo, the straight vibes, bro. Oh, man.
Vibes.
So, I know we ended the last segment. I know we ended the last segment with
a cliffhanger
saying she don't know if it's essential or important to date Indian nationality or if it's possible.
Wow.
Clarify that for me, please.
Recapitulemos. Let's take that.
Bro.
Let's take that back.
I don't know how that always has happened, bro.
I said because we were on the tangent of dating and like how a lot of us are unsatisfied with the Bahamian culture.
Conch season.
What like Bahamians are not offering in the dating world.
Young Bahamians.
So I'm just saying because you have a lot of but you have a lot of people that date to marry, and so then my train of thought was like,
to marry?
Well, not right now.
Okay.
You're dating to experience.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'm in that phase of my life.
Bro, I'm telling you, you forget the connection. Don't let the connection get you, bro.
Listen, if I get body slam, like that.
It's just like y'all got the Virgo connection.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he got to watch out for that.
I'm
Wait,
a
which
Libra.
day? Which
August 28th.
Oh,
yeah.
August Virgo. No. They a different breed. My cousin's August Virgo.
I'm
Watch
an October
yourself.
Libra.
I don't know if that's good or
My
bad.
sister too.
Yeah. But I am accustomed with dealing with Virgos. So I get it.
All right, so
What was I saying? Oh, and I was just what my mind went to. Oh, I hope people might think that we are implying that it would be better, or that because we can't find emotionally what we want from Bahamians here, that we would. The only solution is to go somewhere else.
Right.
And I brought my mind to the topic of extracultural marriage stuff.
Now, let me get what you said. No, I'm gonna get what what Liv gonna say about that, and then I'm gonna go on my little rant.
I guess Liv already on one side.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think you should cancel out anything else. You know? So, but I mean, dating outside a Bahamian and you're at home.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It is what it is.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
laid it down and liven it up.
I like that.
So
I like it.
my whole take with that, I agree with both of them. I'm not particularly tied to any culture.
yeah.
Once, I have this concept of me being an original man, so I like original things or whatever.
What does that? Wait.
What does that mean?
Pick it up, baby. Pick it up.
That means when there was at the dawn of time, there was me.
Oh, yeah.
And then I only looking for the woman that was there too. So, when it comes to cross-cultural things, it's like, certain philosophies I abide by. I'm very family-oriented, group-oriented, building from the ground up, sharing with our differences and collaborating together, being more spiritual than physical. So, there's some are the fundamentals, my fundamental core values. So it's like, once you resonate with those and resonate with me on that higher frequency, then it's like, because as a Bahamian, I view myself as the Bahamas being my tribe. But what I intrinsically am is a phenomenal individual that, if we go into genetics of things and all these other philosophies, what I describe, I first see myself as a king. That's why I call myself Lord Jalen Willard, the Negus of Nassau. And what Negus means is, black emperor, black ruler, like the control of the earth. So it's like, that's my approach to everything. So it's like, once you resonate with that and know that when you sign besides me, you're not lesser than me. You are me, and I am you. Because when I look you in your eyes, I want to see myself, and then likewise, I want you to look in my eyes and see yourself. So that's the connection and bond that I want to have, to where like things are succinct. So, I would say, if you want to date out of culture, go ahead, shoot. Now, I know where the conversation could go to where we
What we
talk.
talking about right now, bro?
Bro, you've been off mic talking.
I mean, I'm the product of an extracultural Bahamian marriage. So
Right.
Yeah.
So
to deny that would be to deny me.
right.
Yeah.
So like,
Bro, this way talking about what we talking about. Y'all keep on talking.
because every time
What
I
are
link
y'all talking about?
Oh yeah.
Facts.
something
What's so
irrelevant
interesting over there?
something irrelevant. It's not Tinder based or dating based at all.
Oh man.
But like, you really more in the field of love than like love.
Yeah, because it
and
seemed like you really want
without
love.
bonding.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't really trying to do like in a
nothing,
whole
no
season or
game.
something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a lover.
I can feel that. Okay.
we want to grab that mic
This
so
is
much.
baffling. Why shouldn't she be like?
We're not saying-
We
It's
not
the
saying-
ultimate- All right.
We're not saying
That we're just-
I think
it's
there's-
surprising.
Because that should be the ultimate goal. Is like
No, but that's not the ultimate goal for all people. though.
Yeah.
People just trying to, have fun.
If you just
Feel
want to
like-
experience
Yeah.
to
I
define
guess
what
that's
you
fair.
really
All right, let me
want.
pull it back. Let me pull it back.
Yeah.
Let me pull it back a couple levels.
Thanks for coming to my defense, though.
Right. Like,
But we wasn't
You're a
attacking.
real-
No, I know, but
Like-
still, that's what he was
yeah, at the end of
doing.
the day, yeah, I guess so. Because then, once you just upfront about what you do about,
How do you know what you want if you haven't experienced it yet?
well,
you
you
know?
can find out, and then you have to be
Exactly.
upfront. You have to be upfront about it. People don't be
Well,
upfront
yeah.
about it.
If you ain't
afterwards.
upfront about it, then
right? Yeah,
everything out the window.
real.
right now,
Hey.
Boy.
Hey, Jay Z.
Yeah.
No endorsements.
No endorsements. But
Wait, let's touch on that though.
no, but she was gonna
I'm sorry.
Liv was gonna answer. So you are also a product of extracultural.
Yeah, my mother is Bahamian. My daddy is English,
I'm telling you, I did not plan this,
but
bro.
his parents are Greek
didn't.
Cypriot.
No, but
Oh.
the universe
Wait,
we
you said
connected.
his parents are Greek?
Greek Cypriot. Yeah.
Wow.
They're
Wow.
from Cyprus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a friend from Cyprus,
Hey.
but he's English. Like he's
That's-
English descendant. It's the same thing.
Yeah, my daddy was born in England, but his parents are
Wow.
Greek Cypriot.
Wow.
What,
They're
like-
from Cyprus.
Wow.
He's like,
Actually, I got a
how would
good
I
topic to talk about
describe his
after.
color? He's like almost her color.
My daddy looks like brown. Yeah, like olive.
I'm sorry for
skin,
pointing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
So-
Some people don't like to be pointed at. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's kind of weird.
So how do y'all feel about? How do y'all feel about?
Is everything good?
Because since y'all are multi nationality, how do y'all feel like going to school in the Bahamas, the whole colorism aspect? Yeah, I'm about to get deep.
I feel like they're on a different spectrum of it.
No, I mean,
They're on the more
but they
attractive
could, no,
spectrum.
but they could talk about.
I don't
it.
think it's attractive. It's a socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Or colonially,
Right.
post-colonially, culturally acceptable. Me, red woman, like
You know what they say about a red
the
woman?
W.
You know.
Yeah.
it's true.
Run.
No, but for example,
Oh my
so my
Actually, I was really surprised when you said that you strictly date Bahamian men, even though you was overseas, though.
I mean, that's been my that's just been my history. My dating history is I've only dated Bahamian men,
All right.
or I've only talked to Bahamian men.
So, talk to us about how the colorism relates to that.
I mean, it's pervasive. Like I know it's part of my desirability. Like I know it's.
Okay, so how does that affect how you discern people that have approached you?
For example, there's this one dude. It manifests.
Shout out to the one dude.
Before,
manifests-
if you laugh before you describe the dude,
That's not a good sign.
no.
But like, for example, what he told me once when we were talking, he's like, "Oh, you're the darkest girl I've talked to," and I was like, "What? Like, why would you?" First
I've
of all,
heard that.
why
Why would you even
preface it?
why would
say
you
that?
preface
Yeah.
that? And I was just like, oh wow, colorism is rampant with this one. And I should say that he was several shades darker than I was. So exactly, I was like, this self-hate is manifesting this one very strongly. I still entertained that one, but
you can't entertain these conks.
well, because I let him know that it wasn't cool, and then I explained, like, so a lot of them don't have,
Yeah.
They're a bunch of coons.
they're not conscious of it until you call them out on it. And
They have to think
he
about
seems
it.
like he seemed like someone that was willing to learn. So that was what.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You see what
always
I'm
fire
saying?
when you get those.
Don't fall in that trap. Though.
No,
But
but sometimes you
it's
get
a
the
trap.
combative ones.
Yeah, from then,
Yeah.
just set that as that.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen, but
But I mean, like,
Keen into sunset.
I'm willing to teach.
All right. So, Liv, your experiences.
Was that it?
I kind of got pulled in 3 different tangents. I can't remember what I was. Well, what I was trying to say is that I know I navigate Bahamian society different than, for example, my sister does, because my sister, I have my mother's complexion, and my sister has my father's complexion, a little bit lighter. And so, when we were growing up, people would always be like, oh, "Why you so light, and why your sister so dark? What happened?"
And what does that mean?
And I was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Do you not understand that like melanin inheritance is genetic?"
Yeah.
Like you, especially when it comes to black families, like nobody is the same shade of brown, even if it appears that they
Right.
are, because the degree of melanin you have, like genetics just doesn't work that
Like,
way.
you know my mother. Like,
Exactly.
I'm darker than my mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's why are you finding this so strange?
That's why I say original man.
And then even if exactly, and even
Yeah.
if I was like full, even if I wasn't sorry, if people assume that I'm fully Bahamian, like ethnically speaking,
Yeah, citizenship wise.
even if
Well, no, ethnic means
like my cultural-
nationality.
Yeah, I just talk
So
about
they
like
would
the whole
assume-
basis.
Yeah.
based on my English, they just assume that I'm Bahamian, and then there's another degree of fetishization that gets added when they find out
Who speaks
my cultural
Spanish.
heritage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Liv.
I agree with her second and third points. For me, it's usually like, okay, I already know I'm very bright, you know. But for me, it's like, oh, I'm like, I don't look Bahamian, or what am I? And like, I used to have really long curly hair.
I saw it, yeah.
And I just cut off. my
I
hair.
can't
That's
imagine you with
crazy.
that.
Yeah, I can show you pictures there.
Right,
But
it's
like,
crazy.
All right.
you know, always talking
Now it's
about.
a fire green.
But like, for me, it's usually like, oh, what are you? Like, I'm not fully. Even though I am not fully Bahamian, like that's the only thing that I know.
Yeah. I mean, y'all might as well say y'all Bahamian because y'all
yeah.
talk
But I
Bahamian.
am.
You live
Passport,
the culture.
bro.
Exactly.
No passport. You ain't need no
No.
passport to
Well,
be
not-
Bahamian.
You don't.
No,
but
but
like, they have it.
I was
though.
born
but,
there. Yeah.
but that's the thing. I always say you a Bahamian once your heartbeat sound like a goat skin drum, bro.
I keep telling you a couple times I ain't feel like a Bahamian.
Because you need to get that goat skin drum. Me and Cooley need to take you in the shock. So you can get that vibe.
I can't fit in there, bro.
Bro, no, you can.
You know how big the shock is.
No,
dog.
no, the shock where we be too, you can fit in.
All right.
So
So
we-
a big boy
we had
shock.
yeah.
All right.
So you could go on left. But if your heart sound like a goat skin drum, you Bahamian, bro.
I like that. I like that.
Period.
Yeah. And then what was your third point that you had said?
Those.
Yeah. Because I can't even remember now.
Like being fetishized
Yeah.
for being lighter.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
or being having what's the word?
Multicultural.
Multiple ethnicities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. You're talking about like the goatskin drum. Like I have never not felt that I had this goatskin drum, and it's one thing for you to believe it,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, like everything coexists. So just because I feel it, at the end of the day, if I have everybody telling me that I'm not Bahamian, for some reason, whatever reason that it may be, it's very hard to accept that. Or you know what I mean? Like it's very hard to accept that you are in fact accepted by the society that you
Yeah.
feel so close to. Because that's been my experience.
Same lip.
I agree. Yeah.
Because I always say, even for
That's crazy.
those of the diaspora, because in my travels, like, part of my TJT initiative, like when we go to different cities for Carnival, because I went to Atlanta and Miami Carnival last year, and I meet those of the Bahamian diaspora. I was in Miami around Carnival time, and I see all these Bahamian flags, but they don't talk like us.
No.
Yeah.
They a second generation
No.
immigrants. So I'm saying,
crazy.
that's why I say, I ain't even saying a passport. because we a culture. We trying to make
True.
what we are a lifestyle. So I'm saying, if the heart,
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I feel
You know?
maybe my heart was goatskin drum, but so many people, like when I met them after a time I spent in the States, or
Yeah.
maybe if I never left, I might have been slightly different. They would categorize me different.
yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
But you don't. But do you know who you truly are as
I
you
don't. That's what I'm
identify?
trying to tell you.
So that's
I
why you
never
need to
felt
come
like I identify
within the
with it.
knowledge.
Like I live here.
Yeah.
I was born here, went to school, all that. But
That's why I'm here.
for a long time. But
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. That's what everything
like the
cool
flag
and
never felt like
other
a part
platforms for.
of me. Yeah.
You trying to identify with a culture you rarely know. You need to get around someone who knows.
Because
the
people are
culture.
telling me I don't talk like a Bahamian.
People tell me that all the time. They say I have
Tell me I
certain
don't look like a
Atlanta
Bahamian.
twang. This don't look Bahamian, but when
I've
you
been told some things I say sound like
Yeah.
yeah, because like you adopt the twang, which I like how it sounds. Like
All the time.
I even told one of my friends from Atlanta, it's like, yo, my favorite American accent. If you ain't from the Northeast and you country, I want you sound like you from Louisiana and
Ooh,
Mississippi. Like, for real, for real. But as it pertains to understanding your cultural heritage, you don't have to be a monolith. For one,
Yeah.
all of it, everything that we know, all connects into one and originates from one space or whatever. So you could like the goatskin drum or like Cuban jazz is all
Congas.
exactly. So all of it connects because if you understand, it's just different drum patterns.
The
Right.
thing is,
Yeah.
though, what is your advice, oh wise one,
The sage.
for people, but like for
Sage.
those who don't buttress that mentality you're talking about, because self-sufficiency only takes you so far.
I would say, and I'd tell this to anybody: get around. If you want to know more, you got to discern and get around those groups that will elevate you to that purpose.
you gotta research.
Yeah.
Facts.
Right.
Now, platforms like our platform, we try to break down Bahamian history as much as possible. Like, we had past guests breaking down what the Columbus statue. Yeah, 2 bars ago.
2 bars ago.
Why we have that Columbus statue in Governor's House and Queen Victoria. We had Travolta in the summertime talking about how Celine.
Hold on, talk about it. Talk about it. Because
Let's
we
take
see
it
you
down.
mouthing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said she wanted to tear down.
But I implore you to watch that episode to gain a little bit more further insight.
Right.
I'll send you it now.
Yeah. So, but Travolta, because he did a film called Black Moses, so it breaks down how we came into independence. You have different feats like that. A lot of. So you want to follow platforms that gives you the insight into Bahamian culture. I know a lot of international Bahamians that listen to this show and look towards us to shed different light on Bahamian society because we as a culture is on a global stage is unknown, but it is our due job to bring it to the world. So we don't have to ever be afraid to express who we are, however, because we are different. And, if we mix in with a lot of things, but we are mainly our essence is from here because we grew up in this culture, then be proud of that. And then be proud of the additional things too. What y'all niggas?
Like he getting mad, deep, sentimental. He's like
What is
pushing the
happening
message,
back
and y'all in the back
Yeah,
goofing
like,
off.
listen, how much
Something you'd like
how
to
much
share with the rest of the class?
Stifle his laugh.
You right. Because I'm like, y'all having bait joke.
Real.
Listen,
It's getting deep,
you
man.
bring-
next episode we gonna have PG and Jamarco in front of the camera. Yeah.
It's like me and y'all. You only gotta take nothing serious.
But that's what I implore people because obviously some people can feel alienated because it's like, but I grew up here just like you. Why are you trying to separate me from you? And it's just going to you laughing on the mic, bro.
Please stop.
Just turn off the mic, bro. Just turn off the mic.
Oh my god, bro.
Why you plugging up the headphones?
This nigga. Oh, yeah.
So
Finish your message. Finish your
So
message.
you just get around different people, and you don't want to have to feel anything. You can feel all together. there's a community that accepts you, and I bet you if you do something great and say you Bahamian, people are gonna accept you then.
Why though? I'm sorry, that kind of has me bugged a bit. As a former national team member and Carifta athlete, like the fact that I just bring you something worth of value, right. Is my existence not enough value for you? I'm sorry. That's just something that
we do.
But I'm gonna bring up a good example.
But
right?
then the thing is,
no, but,
and then
on behalf of your country.
Yeah, but I'm gonna bring up why that is why it is, and I bring up this example quite frequently.
I mean, I agree with you. I just think that shouldn't be the only instance.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you
get recognized.
Why it's like that, right? Teachable moment. How much minutes we have? Because y'all niggas
40, 50.
Bro, he was waiting to talk for the longest.
No, but let me know what the time is, bro.
I pointed at him like.
No. Yeah, it's whatever. Don't worry about that.
We have 3 minutes, huh?
8.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead, PG, before I break.
No, that point ain't gone.
All right, so it's okay. Y'all in the background laughing.
A lot of ministers.
All right.
A lot of ministers.
So, right, because y'all need to stop sipping within them red cups.
Bro, he wanted to talk. He forgot because you was talking so long. That's why it was funny.
Anyway, let me get to my point because we could chop this part. And if the camera go off, just no. Tag team, whatever.
Good.
All right. So, why is that like that? You want to know why it's like that? I'm gonna use
educate me.
A prime example, right? Let's take the last 2 Bahamians that got drafted to the NBA, right? You have Buddy Hield and you have DeAndre Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the rundown up until they got drafted, right? So, DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 high school basketball player in the U.S. He was the number 1 overall selection for the NBA, all right? 2018. And he got drafted number 1. But the Bahamian response was like, oh, okay. But when Buddy, and mind you, DeAndre was a freshman. Buddy went for all 4 years.
Right.
But in Buddy's season,
He spent more years
here. He spent more years abroad, but he was in college for 4 years.
Right. He went to college.
DeAndre spent more years abroad.
No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how long they was in college. DeAndre is more of a prodigy than Buddy.
Right.
So because he came out as a freshman, Buddy had to become a senior. Right. So Buddy spent his senior season torching, going on ESPN, Bahamas to the world, 242, 242. He went all the way to the final, not the Final Four, Sweet 16. Yeah.
Right.
No. He was in the Final Four.
Right. That's like
yeah. No, he was in the Final Four. He was in the Final Four.
Right.
So Buddy went through the whole time, 242 to the world, 242, winning all awards, right? When he got drafted, everybody was like, to Boston, when he was 6, everybody was happy. What Buddy response was when he came back home? And they thought he was the second coming of Jesus. I seen videos when he come to the airport, they wanted to break down, Buddy, like breaking down the airport. But the thing about it is, he got drafted number 6 and is in top.
Still respected.
Yeah, but hold on, I can break it down.
All right,
but he got drafted number 6. He's not touted to be any future All-Star, even a Hall of Famer, but he is worshipped like he is God in the Bahamas. DeAndre Ayton got drafted number 1.
First round.
Was the first round.
Yeah.
Was the number 1 high school first round. He's touted to have talent to be a Hall of Famer.
And like you
but
said,
the reaction
freshman, yeah.
The reaction is no. The reason why that is that the Bahamian people resonate with Buddy more than DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But the dynamic of what you're talking about is an exchange for something and receiving something.
Yeah.
So because Buddy was so vocal about being Bahamian.
But he was also relatable.
Right.
Yeah.
He was also relatable.
He spent more time in Freeport.
Not just that. It was that his story was, I used to shoot on them creeks.
Bahamians can see themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but my question is, that's conditional love.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
they provide him with national exposure. So
yeah, but I wouldn't say
I'm saying
he has a good story.
Right.
But and that's beautiful.
It's relatable.
We should all be able to relate to that. But at the end of the day, as Bahamian citizens, why is there no love for me just because I'm Bahamian? Why is it conditional?
Off the fact
Off the
born in
fact
same
that like
country, yeah.
we are born in the same country, I share the flag with you.
Do you
Like-
think it's contempt for classism? It's classism as a
Some
way to play?
classism, but simply because, like what you just described, you just got to make it.
Yeah.
If you don't make
Yeah.
it, then
Yeah,
who is
nobody
you?
care.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? Niggas them with, like, honestly, I know a bunch of skateboarders there, and I used to skateboard, right? And now skateboarding in the Olympics. If somebody win a gold medal over skateboarding, people,
I don't think people will react how they would.
no boy, people ostracize skateboarding over here. But if you win a gold medal in the Olympics, regardless, be like, yeah, bro.
No, but let me premise that,
You get
right?
recognized.
Let me premise that, right? You could win a skateboard for the Olympics, right? Gold medal. But let's say
Going deep in-
people wouldn't bat an eye. But let's say they start talking about you on ESPN.
Right.
That's the kicker. When you get recognized for your exploits externally first, that's when it registers
Right, because they
internally.
be like, I know that boy long time. This
Yeah.
time I don't know you from McCann Bay.
Yeah.
Right? I know that, but yeah, but I used to skateboard with him too first. And be like, bro, you
Yeah.
can't even walk properly.
You know, a good example of someone who is,
You know?
how you feeling? You know, tipsy bartenders, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
love that dude.
But
A lot
why
of people
isn't he
don't know him.
recognized
People
or
don't know
called home? Sky J. I know people who actually used to work with him when he was here. But guess what? A prophet is loved everywhere
But
except
in
their
his-
hometown.
Yep.
That's it.
And that's
Simple. I mean, unless you
It is
Wait,
what
are
it
we
is.
allowed
Like,
to
Jamaicans
curse?
love Jamaicans.
we could put a dolphin noise over it. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean that's effed up to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jamaicans love Jamaicans too. So.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, if you don't make it big, you was nothing, bro.
And
Period.
that's
We got really
do we not
deep
see
at
how
the end.
heartbreaking that is?
Yeah.
I mean, but I think it comes with the game because it's like,
I understand
And I think
that,
it's how much
but
you
I
push
just mean
it
like
because like with Buddy, he was always like you say, shouting out the 242
Yeah.
thing. Like if you
Yeah.
don't actively do that, you're
Every
like
step.
no, but not just that, but it's
Yeah.
like his story.
But I know,
Yeah.
but people like to hear that.
Right,
It's like
but you shouldn't
promotion.
necessarily- you shouldn't
You shouldn't
necessarily have
need
to do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
It's like you shouldn't have to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
like look at the golden, or like look at
Yeah.
any athlete that's like done anything for the Bahamas and they've retired. Like we don't even know where they're living,
Yeah.
and it's like all of that hard work that they put in. Even you don't have to say 242 to the world for me to love you as a Bahamian.
Right.
Is that
Right.
not what's taught in the Bible? I mean, like love thy neighbor, and like even more so, we're of the same nationality. And you're
Oh,
my
we should
neighbor.
celebrate our heroes.
That's my point.
You know?
Like, and it goes back even to the dating segment. It's just like there's no love.
At the end of the day, you just get a road.
There's no love in the city.
And not in like the way it should be.
Yeah.
There's love when it's conditional, and I think
Of
that's
course. Give you a
Not
piece
okay.
of land. Give
But
you
I
a
would say-
highway, you good.
I even forget what I was gonna say, but
Yeah, we got really deep and really deep in the sport.
what I was gonna say about that is, that's why me personally, because I know that you don't always look for the gratification because I always live a life to where I feel like people ain't gonna celebrate me how I want to be until like I gone, and that's like sad. But it's like once you understand your purpose for doing things and just do it from the love of your heart, that's all what matters at the end of the day. Because it's like, how much different. Let's go into Bahamian tips. You have Bahamians everywhere. You have Bahamians. Okay, let's say Lenny Kravitz is a legendary singer, and he claims his Bahamian identity. He actually constantly lives here.
yeah,
He was just on Men's Health, showing his house in Eleuthera. But it's not no overt like, yeah, let's celebrate Lenny type of thing. But I think it's more so individually still trying to find ourselves as a people
true.
or whatever. It's a lot of lost souls. And two, it's like, understanding that I think, even this as a platform, this has been featured more on international platforms and intrinsically local. And I've connected way more with Bahamians outside of the Bahamas than inside. Because I went out my way to connect with them.
Yeah,
So it's a give or take thing. It's like, how could you win? How could you lose? For real.
word.
I think we done for the day. Marco didn't even have the food up. Like, you know, just the behind the scenes section. They was like, yeah, just getting all dark and deep. I ain't come to here to think about it. Yeah. But, you know, thank y'all for...
come to talk about jokes.
But, you know, thank y'all for coming on again. Yes. You know, this week, the after the party section.
We far past jokes right now.
We far past jokes. We on.
Yeah, like, I started to get sad.
But yeah.
I had to eat to make me a little bit happy.
Yeah.
These two and talking behind the thing. But yeah, we can catch y'all next time. Y'all comment below. Tell us what y'all think if y'all want behind it.
Let's at least react to the pictures, bro.
What pictures?
I sent you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there was this one time. So on this, the thing I've noticed with Bahamians and Tinder is that you really start talking to the person on Tinder if perhaps you follow them on other social media. Like I think Liv was saying earlier, it's like either IG or Twitter. So I had put on Twitter, I had commented on this thing. Someone was like, who the hell is keeping Dippin' Dots in business?
Dippin' Dots in business?
I love Dippin' Dots. I love Dippin' Dots.
It's like
the little nitrogen ice cream, little pellets
it's
type
like,
thing.
Yeah.
Because I know I had a friend who was into that business too.
Yeah.
320 ice cream.
But I had quoted the tweet and like sheepishly was like, that's me. I'm keeping them in business because I love Dippin' Dots. And I matched with this person on Tinder and he goes, oh, if it isn't Dippin' Dots #1 fan. And I was like, oh, well, if it isn't Dippin' Dots #1 hater. Like,
see, the chemistry.
So that was a cute one.
Where did that lead to?
Dippin' Dots?
No.
They was dipping and dotting.
No, I asked him if we could just stay friends.
And did he accept that?
Did y'all ever get
Did he accept that?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in like a week.
See, he didn't accept that. He didn't accept it.
Okay. He's a really nice guy. We went out on a couple of dates and stuff, but I was just... The
vibe wasn't right.
It wasn't.
Like, you know, some people you just know you should be friends with. And
that's what I was saying. Yeah, your personality is just
I ain't like, that's why discernment is heavy. Because I wasn't going to waste time going on dates with you if I know that was the ending result. Like, let's just stay platonic. You know, we ain't got a money.
But like, how do you find that out unless you go out with the person?
Discernment.
Oh, so you can't just go out with somebody and be friends? Like,
I mean, you can. No, but you can. But see, my intentions have to be changed.
But why would you not think of being friends first? And jump straight
man, no. I don't need no lifeline. Let's get it.
But I mean, like you say, if the stigma of you being just on a...
And also I agree with, it's like you message online and you think there's chemistry and then you meet up in actual person and it's just like, oh, like okay,
but for me...
I'm not feeling what I thought I should be feeling.
No,
so
I understand that, but I'm saying, all right, men don't necessarily be thinking, oh, let me approach a beautiful woman with intentions to be friend first. So you should be like...
And that's a problem.
Yeah. That's
I mean, it's a problem, but that's, I think, in a healthy manner.
If your goal is a relationship, you should think to start just knowing the person first.
But I think we should also, like, as an expectation of society, like, we teach people just because you like someone, do everything you can to get them to like you back. Just because you like someone doesn't guarantee that they like you.
Yeah.
So it's like slow. Like you might actually hate me.
But just because you like me doesn't mean that I automatically like you. And it doesn't mean that just because you're trying to convince me, i.e. woo me, that it's going to work. So like this expectation, like just taking me out on dates or like you feel slighted because you've gone out with me and I decide that like I don't feel the
that's
same
why
way.
I say
that's not
like,
fair.
I can piggyback off
persistence.
I can piggyback
persistence.
I can piggyback off of something Marco said. We live in very energy efficient times. So I go and discern, find what this is. Like, okay, by certain messaging, okay, what's the vibe like? Probably like a phone call, probably like one outing. But it's like, I'm not going to continuously go out on dates with you if you just... I don't like broke gals either. But...
I'm sorry, that's just a very capitalist way of looking at love. I feel like you're looking at it as just a singular investment. No, but I'm saying like you're looking at it as a singular investment with like profits. Like
I can tell you why.
That's in the future, and that's just not how human interaction works. Like 1 minute you feel like you're just friends with someone, and the next minute something hits you, and then you're just like, oh my goodness, like I am feeling more for you than I ever anticipated. Like, you have to be open to these things. You can't just shut off, oh, just because I'm taking you out on dates and you don't like me, well, that's it.
Yeah, but then that's how most of the men
That's how most men work, and that's
yeah.
how they shut themselves off mostly, because a lot of women, for example, and this goes vice versa,
So
a lot of women have expectations like, I'm going out with him, he's going to make me his girlfriend. That's not necessarily the case. So it's like, you have to be open to these things. Like, life is not fixed.
Okay,
like,
let me ask a question.
It's not fixed.
So- So should I be a cunk and wait around?
I'm saying if you don't want
wait
to,
around
I'm
in
saying
what
if you
way?
don't want to, that's fine. But you
Okay.
have to be open to the
Yeah.
possibility as well that just because you've gone out with someone, that doesn't guarantee that that investment you've placed in them, be it time or paying for their date, that it's guaranteed to come back to you in emotional response.
So so you said even though it didn't work today, I should hang around you.
That's not what I'm saying. You're trying to twist it because you already have a perception
No,
of what
I
you
asked you the
want.
question. Like, okay, because that's what, okay.
That
saying-
sounds like you're waiting for one thing and that's it.
You're waiting
you
with
don't care
you're
for,
waiting with
Yeah.
the intention of receiving something back, and that's the issue.
No, don't
That's
send
the
it. Don't send it.
You're
'Cause I-
expecting something
No,
in
'cause I go-
return, and that's what I mean by a
Okay.
capitalist mentality. Is
Okay.
that you do something, and then you do something with the expectation of receiving something. And if we know as Bahamians, because we love the Bible, to love is to give wholly. Like, if you expect something in return, that is not the definition of love. So I'm saying, if you understand for yourself that you are somebody who wants to find someone to date and to be romantically involved with, and you make that clear, and then the expectation doesn't meet where you want it to be, I'm just saying, don't close yourself off to the possibility that though she may not be feeling it right now, there is a chance that she might come back and say, actually, I didn't realize that this is how I was feeling, and this is... But now, okay, I realize what I'm saying. I realize that I'm using myself as a point of reference because I am that communicative.
All right.
Like, not every woman or not every person is openly communicating.
Let me
Someone
rebut.
call a fire engine.
My point is very simple. Like, I'm not trying to say that you're wrong for doing what you're saying.
She preaching. It's Sunday.
No, let me rebut that a little bit, right? That's cool. And I don't have a problem.
That's how you operate. That's fine. That's you. But I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying that's how I operate. Because I operate just how...
Ooh, wait, feel it though.
Because I don't operate how I operate exactly how you saying, with the friends. But if we gonna be friends, I ain't gonna have no more intentions on trying to date you.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's not the problem.
That's not.
Yeah.
You're not hearing what I'm saying.
You're saying, oh, if it ain't this one thing, no, we can't be friends. That's that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
That's
we
what
can't.
That's what she said.
But this is what I was saying, right? I was saying most men take it like that. For me personally, I want to know. No, bro. Listen, if y'all stop interrupting me, let me go.
Let me go. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, right? Personally, me, right? When I say, when I meet someone, every man's mind, when you see an attractive woman, it's like, oh, let me see if she's available, right?
Procreate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You always think procreate, domination, da 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 da. In my mind, I'd be like, okay, if I feel like there's no capacity for that, I will assume the friend rule. We're not going to stop talking. We can be cool. Now, some people might have a problem with that or feel like you still trying to get this relationship when you still trying to be a friend, or you come as a friend first initially, because this has happened to me multiple times before, and it get confused as me trying to manipulate the situation to make it more, but it's like, I don't want more. So, I fully agree with you with, this and that. It's just for me, if you have, like you set in stone, this is a friendship, I'm going to treat it like such. Now, if it opens to be more than that, depending on how long it is, I might be in a whole different state of mind. I might just feel you as a friend. You don't tell me you're dirt or whatever. I know you, you know me. And it's like, we can't go back from that to where it could be romantic.
And so it is.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I mean,
But again, you use yourself as an example.
I use myself as an example.
I was speaking generally, and you said, for example, you just said set in stone. I was like, well, nothing in life is set in stone.
But how do I know that?
That's the thing, you don't. So you should be open to the possibility of that happening. I'm not saying like you should be like waiting for them. That's
Okay.
not what I mean.
Okay.
I'm saying if the person does approach you again
If it happens,
with this new
yeah.
intentionality, maybe don't close yourself off to it because you were blocked the first time.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
So how do y'all feel about the whole narrative that men can't have female friends because they just waiting around for a crack in the door?
I mean, then I guess that speaks to the man as an
Yeah.
individual, because I think it's very possible.
Okay.
It's very possible. I mean, I realize I sound like a hypocrite because I said earlier that like no one wants to be my friend, but I do have male friends. Let me just put it out there. I do have male friends that care for me very much. It's just being honest with oneself, and I don't know if we teach people like as a global society, if we teach people to be
Just platonic.
that,
Yeah, I
or
was
just
gonna
that
say.
open with oneself. It's just like you don't have to. You don't have to, just because you see a beautiful person doesn't mean automatically that you should try and screw them.
True.
Yeah.
And then we blame it to instinct. And it's
Yeah.
like, but there's so many more instincts.
Bro, I can hit. What the hell y'all doing?
What
This
is
man
that?
is having a phone call.
Bro, what y'all doing?
But yeah.
Ain't nobody need no help, bro.
But it's like there's so many more, as I was saying,
Their
there's so many more
personality
instincts
your
as well. It's
personalities
like
might not even work
exactly. There's an
together,
instinct
like-
to protect. There's an instinct to guide. There's instinct to, you know what I mean? Like, and just
Yeah.
the sexual instinct is the one that you cling to as an excuse to justify why you want to fuck some
Bro.
girl. Like, sorry,
No, we can put the splash over it.
okay, but like it's just I don't
No,
know.
but we talked about this off break or whatever, where you know
We talk about this. So
you have
many
to
times.
we have
Sorry.
to
No.
we have
Don't
to
worry about
evolve from I see a beautiful woman. My first instinct, I gotta get them in bed. Like, no, go see who that person is.
Yeah.
That person be valuable. That's why I have a lot of women friends. Like, you know, because I always say you want to conquer a society. And my coach in high school always told me, he's like, Williams, like when I was president of college, like I made sure when I wanted to get elected, I gave every woman on campus a rose. Women are the background of society.
How much woman was on that campus?
A lot. And he became student president.
And you gave everyone a rose.
No, not me, but that's what he did. But
Oh.
the story was women are the backbone of society.
Right.
If you as a man keep on thinking every time you approach a woman, it has to be because you're getting something out of it. You playing yourself.
Right.
So
is that what you did or you didn't do?
I always do that. That's why I have a lot
You
of
always do
platonic.
what?
No, I have a lot of platonic women friends.
Yeah, I
It's
get
not because it's because, you know, I try, you know, to master different tendencies and urges and bad behavior and lessons that we learn coming up. But it's like, you know, you see persons for the individual, not from what you gain from it. Yeah, they might be beautiful. I have a lot of beautiful friends. But that don't mean
Surrounded by beautiful women right now.
yeah, right, exactly. But my goal is always to be like, I never want to come off as a predator. I want you to be around me and be
Yeah, it's kind
comfortable.
of gross.
Yeah. I want you to be comfortable around me. I want you to feel comfortable. Express yourself.
like, yeah.
And then, you know, it goes back to me, you know, being in Atlanta and I had a female roommate. And we was chill. Like, so it's like, you know,
Oh my
I know how to set that precedence to where it's like, I don't want you to feel like you have to have a guard up because you're thinking, oh, he want me to be his girlfriend. Or he trying to sleep with me. Nah. Let's chill. Listen, you feel relaxed. I want you to be you. And I think we have a society where we don't allow women too much to fully be them. Answer that.
No, that just has me thinking like I just wonder because what we're really, if we're talking about the deep topic of what we're hitting on is
Right.
male ego. And it's like you want to sleep with me because you want to prove yourself as a sexual prowess. You want to prove like most dudes like in the conk stage, as you say, is like they want to be able to say I can please a woman.
Yeah.
And it's just like okay, and the whole like, oh, well, I don't want to be recognized as a predator. Is that for you or is that for me? Is it you? Do you genuinely? I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, in terms of like the male ego, especially in the conk season, we talking about like we don't teach them that it shouldn't be because you don't want to be labeled as something or because you want to be labeled as something.
Right.
Are you really doing it because you care for the other person? And I don't know how we would begin to rectify that as a society, like globally.
Going back to the
Aside
original
from-
things.
Yeah, globally, I don't know, but culturally,
Culturally too.
I have the answer.
Well, because I mean, every culture is a reflection of the
Yeah.
global consciousness, right?
So we can start somewhere.
Because
and then
patriarchy is a
hopefully-
global thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I would say let's start with the original. We always go back to the source. Originally, we always worship women. We always put them above us and went out.
I feel like we
You know,
always
we got away from
respected
that.
each other, but
You think
also-
we restricted each other?
No, respected,
Okay.
but also understood where we have power over the other.
I don't think
There's
it's a power
always-
over the other thing, but it's more so space in the world. What?
I just mean like we
Functionality.
excel.
Yeah.
Functionality, yeah.
We excel in certain things that the
Yeah.
other person doesn't,
It's a
and that's where we
balance.
complete each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
That's really what I meant.
Yeah.
So it's like we got away from that and not upset the entire
Yeah.
power.
Did we
and
get away
balance.
from it? Or did we get taken away from it?
I mean,
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let's correct that.
we, have
Yeah.
we need to have a segment for that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like it's a known fact. Like women are better leaders, and women are, you know, there's.
But I just sometimes, you know what I do? Whenever I get
Is it
like,
good?
I find myself with a very combative man. I was just like, if you strip away everything about society that we know today, if there was no such thing as like this advanced human civilization that we had, and we were literally in like, I don't know, for example, in the Amazon forest, it was just you, man, me, woman. What would we be doing? My primary objective, biologically speaking, would be to give birth. And so then what would your biological priority
protect
be?
life.
To protect life.
Yeah.
So whenever I see men on Twitter, for example, like, and there's different ways because we are this advanced society to protect women. And that includes financially, that includes physically, that includes spiritually, that includes mentally.
Emotionally.
Like what would be your function outside of society? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, whenever I see and whenever I find myself, it always stops them because I'm like, at the end of the day, when women ask you to provide, they're asking you to carry
protect.
out your biological function.
Right.
It's not that they're like expecting, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to speak for every woman
Yeah.
because that's not the case. Some of us
Yeah.
are very materialistic.
Yeah, they attach
and
a different level.
attach a different
Yeah.
connotation
Okay.
to being a provider,
Right.
right? But for me, that's not the definition. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, like it's
Lev, what'd you think
the
about it?
dynamic of working and finding that balance is a recognition that I am the bearer of life and you must help me protect this life I'm bearing.
From
Right.
you, God on earth. Both of you. Live.
And that's where the disconnect is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really.
For me, to like, if you want to attach it to like things that are happening like in today's world, like, you know, they just appointed the new Supreme Court judge in America, and like she's very anti, you know, things that have to do with women's rights. So it's like,
What?
yes,
Wow.
yeah, like I can't remember her name, but you know, all things women were fighting for, and like even with like abortion or the rights to your own body and all this stuff, or like anti-LGBTQ and all this stuff. Like she's very much conservative, and you know, that's literally taking away women's rights.
Facts.
Like
Like
those types of things you got to fight for. Now, even though we should all be equal.
We should.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole constant debate on what actually equality supposed to mean. But I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it
We
just
talk about it quite a bit.
yeah. I think at the end of the day, it just ends in mutual respect. If I respect you as an individual and you respect me as
Right.
an individual, we can
And
coexist.
But
like
we
you were
both-
saying, it's
yeah.
situational. Like
Right, we require
who can-
different things.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
this situation, who's
Right.
gonna lead?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Because I need something from you, and you need your weakness from me. So if we can't identify
Work off each other, yeah.
right, what those things are, where we could benefit each other, like in a symbiotic relationship, that's where we fall. Like
Yeah.
if you look outside, the grass, the soil, the trees, the bees, the bacteria, the bugs, they all work together
Exactly.
to make sure each bee could fly, each blade can grow, and each tree can flower. So if we're not a part of that, then it's tough.
amen, amen.
say your piece, PG. Say your piece.
No, I'm not. Just I asked the time.
Oh yeah, we got 3:30.
I gotta go. No
Yeah.
cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Of
blessed
course.
us with a
So
present.
we finished with
I'm
this
sorry.
segment. Thank you for the additional episode. Additional segment behind the thing. Good
We
thing
took a
ended-
trip that we maybe
Yeah,
wouldn't
that
have
was
normally,
wild.
Yeah.
but we appreciate that
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate that trip.
Yeah. But I love having y'all. Hopefully y'all could come on again
It is what it
Anytime.
is.
anytime.
Let me know.
This was fun.
Well,
That
yeah.
was very fun.
Thank you for coming. Peace and love. Tell us if y'all like these behind the pod segments.
Like,
Yeah, see.
share, and subscribe.
All that stuff. Yeah. All that links below. Yep.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.